everybody, it's Lacey.
And I'm Lauren.
And welcome to another episode of the Lawmas Podcast.
And if you're watching this, I just realized I have this massive pimple on my forehead. Well, the side of my forehead. Well, I knew I had it. I put a pimple patch on it, but I thought it was down more. Anyways, so today we're going to continue talking about the Latter-day Saints and that Sam Bateman and the false prophet. But we have a few other things we want to talk to first, just some things happening more locally, which I know Lacey has something she's going to bring up. But here's kind of my first thing that I want to bring up. And I didn't tag Lacey in this in Facebook because I want her honest thoughts. So there's a news reporter named Cody Alcorn, and he gets the dish before everybody. And this is not about him at all. It's more just, so I follow him. He's in Atlanta now. He used to be here in Greenville, and he's honestly great at his job because he works hard. He gets the gossip, not gossip. He gets the news. He actually goes and looks at the police reports. He files the FOIAs. He does all of that stuff. Well, this happened within, I think, the last day or so. And I'm not getting into like the credibility of this or so much, but a doctor was arrested for pretty much indecent exposure. And this doctor had been, he's a retired physician, but he'd been very big in cancer, and he'd won the Order of the Palmetto. Like, he was just a very upstanding citizen, but he did get arrested on indecent exposure. And according to the police reports, which Cody Alcorn did get, and just his background, Lacey's a journalism major too, so this kind of like plays into both sides of it. So he did get the police reports. The police it all happened at a hair salon or barbershop type situation. And there was video. And so it happened about April 15th or 16th, but he was just arrested this past weekend after the tapes had been viewed and all this type stuff. And I'm not even going to put his name out there because this isn't so much about him, I guess, but how you feel on both the journalism side and the criminal defense side. Well, so Cody posts the whole story. He posts what he got about the police report, saying there was a 10-minute video that the police had reviewed it and that a victim had came forward, and that is why this all happened. When the victim came forward, pretty much this man had exposed his male parts in this, and it was all on video. After 10 minutes of video, the police did. This wasn't just a victim came forward and the police went and got him. They did watch the video situation. And Cody posted the whole thing on his page. He posted also how much good stuff this man had done. He did not like say, oh, just this. And he did post the mugshot, but I will say he posted the mugshots of everybody he can get. And those are public. You can find those online. So nothing he posted was nothing you couldn't find online because it was what he's got from the public index and what he got through his FOIA request and those type of things. And he did post all the good things the man had done. And then people automatically started jumping on, and I will say, people jumping on him, I think just gives him more confidence. It don't bother him. He comes right back. He makes quips. But people started jumping on him saying, why would you post this? You're ruining this man's reputation. You shouldn't have posted this till all the facts come out. Okay, for one, I have opinions because they're doing this because he's a doctor and he has a well reputation. Because Cody, I will say, is very, he posts everything. Like, I don't feel like his stuff has ever been biased, in my opinion. I feel like if he gets the news and he gets credible sources, he follows it, he posts it. And so one of his comments on it was, why would I not post this when I post about everybody else, when I get the credible news and that type stuff? But people were jumping down his throat because of all the good this man has done, and this could ruin him. And he was like, well, the incident is what ruined him, not my posting on it. So I guess from your perspective, obviously he's been arrested. This man has. He has not, obviously he's still innocent till proven guilty. From the journalism versus the criminal defense attorney, how do you see these situations? And I'm not doing it because of just this case.
No, I know.
This comes up a lot. And for one, I did see one comment that said, I wish you people had this much compassion for everybody that got arrested. So I will say that's out there too. But what's your perspective? Should he post it? should he not? And I'm not doing this at any slight at Cody. I love him. I think he is a great news anchor.
Yeah. And I do too. And the story I'm going to bring up, actually, he reported on, and that's how I have all the information. My opinion is this in combining both. If you are going to post about the arrest, if it's dismissed, post that too.
He said he will. He keeps
and that's what annoys me sometimes is journalists, they will go and, they'll report a verdict if it's a guilty verdict. Most of the time if it's a not guilty verdict, they are not spreading that. Or if there's a mistrial, right? So Richland County had 2 CSC cases back to back and had 2 mistrials back to back. That wasn't in the news, and stuff like that. And I think it's important, especially today, because we need more exposure to injustices. People say, why does injustice happen? Why do, convictions happen when they're innocent and stuff like that? And I think part of the reason, just part, is lack of education by journalists. You are so quick to post an arrest, but you're not as quick to post a dismissal, and why. And when you were telling me that story, I referred back to, I was in bond court, which is a public hearing. This was not my case. There was an older man arrested for CSC crimes. Okay. And it was not with minors. One of the victims was actually his daughter-in-law, where he was recording her. Man had no record. Turns out he has dementia, very bad. He can barely take care of himself. His daughter-in-law, who is one of the victims, wrote in a statement, because she was not in town for the bond hearing, saying that her father-in-law is one of the greatest humans she had ever met, and she loves him deeply. And she asked for mercy for the court for the bond hearing, and that he just needed help. And when you're telling me this story about this doctor, my questions go to, if he's retired, what's his mental capacity?
I think that's part. I mean, I do think, yes, this could definitely be a part of it. He could have dementia, or he could have, and I think something a lot of people don't realize when you get older, things like a UTI or being on like an antibiotic. You may not have dementia, but it can make you, have symptoms of dementia for a little bit. So I definitely think there could be a lot more underlying it. And so I guess I see the point, but just because somebody has a big reputation in the community, do you think Cody should have not posted it?
No, I think you should. It's got to be fair across the board. And I think it's good that somebody's calling it out, that I wish you cared this much about other people, because you don't
give everybody the benefit of the doubt until something went forward.
Right. And, when these reporters are reporting on trials, a lot of times it's very biased towards the state. You're not reading articles where the reporter is saying, the defense attorney really questioned this witness. This witness actually gave 2 prior statements that contradicted his statement in court. You don't see that. What you're going to see is just a very biased statement from the state. So, like I said, if Cody or any reporter, like I said, not directed at him, if they're going to report mugshots, report if it's dismissed too. And if it gets expunged, take it down completely. That's what an expungement means. It means erase, like it never even happened. So that's my only thing there. And I think it's fair to post things across the board. If you're going to post about somebody who grew up, underprivileged, not a lot of money, not high standing in the community, if you're going to post about them getting in trouble, yes, you have to post the doctors too. And it is newsworthy. That is a journalist's job. But my from the criminal defense aspect, my pet peeve with journalism is just not being fair across the board and being very pro-state. Post about the arrest, post from a state bias when they go to a trial, and not give a fair assessment. And I think that sometimes leads to injustices because people aren't reading to learn about bad things that the state does. You're not reading an article and finding out a prosecutor got chastised by a judge because they withheld evidence and stuff like that. It takes something so extreme to get them to criticize a prosecutor or anything like that. But yeah, so that's my 2 cents on that. Just if you're going to post it, play it fair amongst class levels and with balancing defense and state.
And I will say, I feel like Cody Alcorn is good at that. Like, this was
Yep.
not any way to come after him. This was just because honestly, I get my news from him first because he knows everything. Like,
Yeah.
he just does. He knows it all.
Yeah. And speaking of Cody, so he kind of sparked a lot of attention out of our hometown this week. So the first post I saw was hearing reports about an axe being used on a juvenile or something like that. We'll, follow up with more details when I have them. And so the story, so my friends actually saw it too from Cody, like what's going on in Union? Why is somebody axing somebody? And so what actually happened, there's this girl at the tanning salon. Her name is Anna. I want to say Howard's her last name. And I can reveal her name because she has admitted herself she is this person. So Anna was leaving the tanning salon, get in Union, gets in her car. Well, she has had a prior DUI apparently because she has the interlock device on her car. And so as she's getting in her car, these two girls, one is a juvenile, one is named Molly Butler, jump her. And they start, allegedly jump her and start punching her and stuff. So she is trying to get her car to start, but it doesn't automatically start because she's got the interlock device on her car. So if you don't know what interlock is, you have to blow into a tube to get your car to crank up because you've had a prior DUI, and they make sure no alcohol's in your system or otherwise you can't operate your vehicle. So I guess she keeps an axe in her car. And so she grabs the axe. So she's using the axe in self-defense, according to the police. And so the juvenile got cut. So the police are called. Juvenile goes to the hospital. She was released with minor injuries. And so Anna is taken into custody, but they were able to obtain videos from the tanning salon and were able, in their report, they state that they verified that Anna acted in self-defense. So Anna did not have any charges. Anna actually commented, said, "I know I'm a criminal, but I didn't do this." And that made my friends giggle too, because she admitted to committing crimes in the past, but she did not assault anybody at this point. It was in self-defense is what the police have come forward to say. And but then they released yesterday that Molly Butler, I think that's her name, was arrested for assault and battery 3rd degree, as well as contributing to the delinquency of a minor for the assault. So she has been charged, and Cody posted her mugshot. What is interesting is twofold. One, her mom is an attorney in Union.
I did not. Okay. I didn't realize that was all connected. When you said Butler, I mean, that's kind of a common last name.
Right.
Okay.
And two, Molly is the girl that we hired to take care of my grandparents last year. Yes. She did not pan out. She would not show up consistently like she was supposed to, and there was a bunch of excuses and stuff. So eventually my grandma was like, we can't keep her. But that's who they wanted to hire. They talked to her, and she was very nice, and she did very good in her interview, and they thought it was a good fit. It didn't pan out. But yes, the person who allegedly attacked the girl with the axe, who's trying to blow into the machine. I mean, just so many layers. So, Cody, thank you for that story.
Well, and I love how it hit home personal to you, as this was going to be Momo's caretaker.
Because, my friend group just thought it was so hilarious. Somebody just keeps an axe in their car, And so then as the story progressed, I kept updating them on Cody. So then when I saw the arrest yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, y'all will not believe the finale to this story. Now, it would probably get dismissed. Her charges would probably go into pretrial intervention. I don't believe she has a prior record, and it should. And she could get dismissed and expunged. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Does she probably have, I don't know, if she has if you have I guess it depends what level. Could she, at this time, if she's on probation and stuff, or still under all of whatever she had for her DUI, the lady that was the self-defense, could she not have a pistol? So, does she have the axe because she can't have a pistol?
So that crossed my mind. And a DUI is not a felony, so it would not prohibit her from owning a firearm. But let me see if she has other prior convictions. Because if she does have a felony, that would bar her from owning a firearm. And that crossed my mind as well. Did she have this for protection because she's not allowed to have a firearm? She's barred. So, Anna, girl, she said, I do crimes, but not this time. Okay, she's not coming up on Union County's public index for me.
It could be she has different last names too, though.
Yeah, that was just her name on Facebook.
Well, that's the hard thing with women, I've realized, is this is just from any woman's perspective. When you get married, divorced, change names. And even people who've only been married to one husband, never went through a divorce, will still have multiple names because they can't remember how they changed it, especially in older ladies. They can't remember how they changed it the first time. Are you Jane Elizabeth Smith Doe or Jane Smith Doe?
Anna Reynolds.
Oh, we know her. That's the twin.
In my church.
She's a twin. She has a brother,
Adam.
And I thought he was cute.
Oh my gosh.
Junior high. I thought he was so cute.
Do know her. She has, I think she did get into.
She's been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. She got a pending charge just from last month. Okay, so she does have, it looks like, some convictions. She does have a pending charge from April as well. But she did get married. I know, I can see
kids, doesn't she?
Yes. Okay. The only thing she has pending from last month is driving under suspension. We don't really care about that. That's not going to bar you from owning a firearm either. Okay, so she pled guilty to petty larceny. That's not going to bar you from owning a firearm. That's a misdemeanor. So I'm not seeing anything in Union that's going to bar her from possessing a firearm.
She's a year ahead of us, if all you people are wondering. She would have been the grade above us. She was a twin. I remember she was never, I've never had a lot of experiences with her. I think we had art together one time.
Yeah, I don't have anything bad.
I think she was funny.
She was very funny. They came to my church for a little bit. I don't remember Adam being the nicest, honestly. I don't know why. I don't have.
A jerk.
Yeah.
I think he was like a jock jerk. He was
kind of cocky. But Anna's always seemed really nice and really funny. I'm looking in Spartanburg. A lot of people from Union frequent Spartanburg.
Spartanburg and Cherokee.
Hold on. This is her middle name. Oh man, she got a pending charge in Spartanburg. No, this is in Union still. I clicked on Spartanburg. Maybe not. But anyway, so that's what's going on in our hometown. Anna, girl.
Our Bateman until next week.
We had a lot. Y'all might have to wait for part 2.
That gives you plenty of time to catch up.
It does. But, we have to cover current events as they come up. And both of these stories were current.
Yeah, literally, the Cody Alcorn posting about the doctor. This all happened within the last 2 to 3 days. So,
yeah.
And yes, the Union story happened. And I have got some comments. Let me tell you what one of our listeners wants us to talk about. Shout out Sue Pardue. She tagged me in something on Facebook. I think it was about that shop owner in South Carolina, that beauty
that keeps getting arrested.
Yes, and has the pretty her mugshots get prettier and prettier. She's
prepared. She's ready.
So I think it was that. There was one other thing. Let me see. And if there's anything local you want us to talk about, let us know, because realistically, there is a lot of good stuff that happens here.
I was wondering if the juvenile in this case was going to be charged, because if Molly's being charged with assault and battery third, it did sound like there was probable cause for assault and battery third degree for the juvenile. And it did say the juvenile involved is also expected to face charges, including third degree assault and battery. And here's the thing about Anna. I feel like Anna can fight if she wants to fight, so the fact she just stayed in her car and tried to defend herself. But I guess it was 2 against 1. I
She's
can't believe that was Anna. And I know, who did she, so I'm pretty sure the guy she married has a sister named Anna Howard.
it's a small world. Like, it really is in
Mm-hmm.
Union. Oh, one other thing happening in Union. I saw another girl who went to high school. This is not as criminal as much, but I'm kind of curious, does this happen a lot of places? Because I've seen a lot of complaints about this from Union, especially in our schools. Is kids getting UTIs, kids getting impactions from teachers not letting them go to the bathroom. Now, I will say that when I was in school, I only got detention one time. I believe it was only one time. Like, I was a good kid. I did nothing wrong. Like, I was worried, not because of my parents, because my inner self was like
Mm-hmm.
worried about everything. That's what OCD does to you. But I had to go to the bathroom really bad. I mean, like, my bladder was about to explode, and it was Ms. I think her name was Duncan. She was the one that did the sign language
I
club and all that.
remember.
I said, I have to go to the bathroom really bad. She goes, well, you just got back from recess. You should have went. I had went, but caffeine, I guess I'd had a Coke or
Right.
tea or something had hit me. And I said, can I go to the bathroom? And she said, you're going to have to take detention to go to the bathroom. And I said, well, I'm going to have to take it. Or I said, I was like in tears. I was about to pee on myself.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't let me go. So I know that was true back. That was probably 25 years ago, or, further. So I know that was
Right.
true then. And I thought schools had gotten better with this, but I'm legit seeing it still that kids are not allowed to go to the bathroom.
So, my story was in third grade. My teacher was very nice, but I think I had already gone. But I have to go to the bathroom a lot. I still do, and sometimes it just hits me in spurts. Like in the morning, I have to. But anyway, she would not let me go, and I used the bathroom on myself because I was just so scared. And I tried to hold it, and I ended up using the bathroom on myself. I mean, I will say after that, she told my mom that if ever I need to go, to get up and go. But it was super embarrassing. And I mean, I would think back for years to come. Like, I wonder if people remember that I peed myself literally in third grade. I was too old, but it was because she wouldn't let me go. And, it was so shy and trying to hold it. And yeah,
It's
so
awful.
it's terrible. And I will say, one of my nieces, she has her cycle. She's in high school, but this happened at Sims, and she was told that she needed to go, take care of things, that she would get detention. And she tried to tell the teacher, and I will tell you, it is Maggie, Will's sister. That was the teacher. I'm not blaming her. I do think it's more than just her, but it was her. And I guess Chloe didn't tell her specifically what it was about or something. And I think that's what she said.
Should you really have to explain
That was my thing
your
too. And so, she said that if she went, she, had to sit out for lunch. And I was just really upset. And I had heard, and before when that happened, somebody else had posted this, something very similar happened at Sims. So, and it was a girl as well. And I think it was the same thing. And so I emailed the principal and I said, I am very concerned that you are discriminating against females because they have monthly cycles. They are going to have to go to the bathroom more frequently to take care of themselves.
and
And if,
sometimes you could have just went and you
and if,
still have to go
yeah.
deal with stuff.
I said, so if you have stringent rules that don't comply with their health, that's discrimination. And at that point, it blew up because I emailed them from my work email because I'm an attorney. Are you calling as an attorney or as an aunt? And anyways, we resolved it, but I don't know if it was resolved for Chloe or everybody. I really don't.
Well,
But
obviously, it's still going. I mean, this wasn't Sam's. I think this boy's still in elementary school, but he has an impaction.
yeah. And I mean, I've heard that, well, at Sims, we have a lot of fights, we have a lot of issues in the bathroom and stuff. And I don't know what the solution is, but I don't think the solution is prohibiting female students from being able to go take care of themselves.
It shouldn't. If you're a little boy and you have
Yeah.
to go poop, you shouldn't end up with an impaction. So I'm just curious, is
Yeah.
this happening for people, like for my teachers that listen? Like what's going on for other parents? I will say at my kids' school, so Kylie, if she drinks something, she pees a lot. Like and she could have just went and still have to pee. Her teachers are like the opposite because they know she's like this. They're coming up to her, they're like, "You go potty? You want to go potty?" I mean, she's also in kindergarten.
Yeah.
But like she had the sweetest substitute at the start of the year, and Kylie did have an accident, but Kylie was embarrassed. She had an accident because she didn't go tell the teacher she had to go because she
Yeah.
was embarrassed she had to pee. And so from then on, the teacher would just like say, "It's time now," and like every hour tell her to go.
Yeah.
But don't feel bad that you peed on yourself, because it made me think. If y'all are watching this, you may have seen me saw when I was in the 3rd grade, we were watching a movie. We stood up from watching the movie and I farted really, really loud. And this haunts me till this day. And just so you know, people will remember stuff, because I told my husband this story, and we didn't go to the same elementary school. And one of his best friends from school farted on the first day of kindergarten, and he still remembers that to this day. And they are still friends, but he still remembers, like,
Yeah.
he farted. So I'm sure if you were in 3rd grade with me, we were
Yeah.
watching some type movie and I farted and y'all heard it and it probably smelled terrible. It was a normal bodily function.
Yeah. I think things are still going on, and something's got to happen though, because it's just affecting, I think, what we're seeing. Because like I said, my story affected one of my girls, and I had seen stuff on Facebook. We're seeing, I saw the same post you did, with a little boy ended up in the urgent care or the hospital, with
Where his
constipation.
mom's now probably got $1,000 bill. Take away his pain and suffering. You
Right.
just made mom and dad pay an emergency room bill.
Mm-hmm.
The lawyer in me is like, you need to sue for those medical bills. But I don't
Well,
do that type of law, so I don't know.
and something was said about Chloe, like, well, we only let them go at lunch. Why not change it during lunch? Sometimes that ain't enough. Sometimes you can change it at lunch and need to go back an hour to 2 hours after. And, I find it real funny that a lot of these people making these rules have a penis.
You don't say, "Oh, uterus, please shoot out the blood right now."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just all of a sudden, I know our listeners are probably females, but you don't have control over that. You also don't have control when your Bibles are like, "I have to go now."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Paige, love you if you're listening. Nobody knows your last name. It's fine. She has gone through her pants, and had to change or put a sweater on.
I did. And I will say, thankfully, it did happen to me when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And luckily, I don't know if you remember her. It was our math teacher, Miss Bishop. I don't know if you had her. She taught 5th and 6th grade math. Sweetest woman in the world. She came and got me a sweatshirt and wrapped it around me so we could get me to. So, like, there are some great teachers out there, and we love you and respect you. And we know that a lot's going through administration. The kids having to pee and poop should not be this big of a deal, causing them to go to the hospital.
You ain't lying. So let us know if that's an issue. And also, if you're a teacher in another state, I'm curious to see, how do y'all do bathrooms? Is this just a South Carolina problem that we're having? What can our administrators do to competently let people go to the restroom when they need to, but also take care of things that, people getting out to go do stuff for the bathroom when they're really not going to the bathroom? Because I do understand that those things do happen. I just don't think I think there are other ideas and ways to, combat that, but that's just me thinking outside the box. What do y'all think?
Let us know, and we'll see you next week to talk about the false prophet.
Yep. I hope you enjoyed us talking about our hometown, and yep, we'll see you next week.